Alright, here we go. Now we're going to start writing equations of lines. And again, hopefully this will be review for you. But if not, we do need to go over it to make sure that everybody understands exactly how to write equations of lines. There are three different forms of a line, and there are a lot of books and a lot of places that make it sound like each one is, very different than the other. That's not true. They're all the exact same thing basically. They're just manipulated around different. Now, I like to try and keep things fairly straightforward and fairly simple. So, my rule says if you're going to write an equation of a line, we're going to do it one way and one way only. So to write the equation of a line, you need to have two things. Those two things are always going to be a point, some x1, y1, which will be your point, and a slope, m. Very important. As long as you have these two things, then we can use what's called point-slope form of a line. And that formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now let me show you how that works. Here we have an example that says write the equation of the line with the given slope and containing the given point. So we have a slope and we have a point. These are the two things that we need in order to write the equation of a line. So I'm just going to write up here above this x1, y1. If you do that, especially at first as you're working these, then you can see exactly where they need to go. So whenever I'm creating my equation of my line, I'm using the formula y minus y1. Well, I've labeled y1 as being 1 equals, now I'm supposed to have an m, which they told us was negative 1, times x minus x1, which we said was a negative 2. Now what happens when you see this minus and negative? Every single time a minus and negative becomes a positive, right? So if I rewrite that a little bit nicer, that would be y minus 1 equals negative 1 times x plus 2. This is called the point-slope form of a line. Now, every single time they ask you to write an equation, I don't care what they say. Sometimes they'll say, write it in such and such form. But if you're going to write an equation of a line, every single time, you need to follow this path. You need the point and you need the slope. And then we put it into this formula every single time.